Hi guys, Ravensong here. I've been wanting to do this video for a while and I finally came in so I can do this. I wanted to say that I believe these are AI decks and I don't want to reject AI decks completely yet. Yes, they are not artist created, but they are technology created, but there is somebody who's influencing that technology. So, from what I gather, actually from watching Kelly Fitzgerald play with the AI thing, it sounds like it can be a little bit of work. Plus, it has to appeal to the person that decides to print them too. So I'm sure they do some tweaking here and there. So there is work that goes into it. It may not be an artist creation, but it does have its own merits in the amount of labor that probably goes into coming up with the deck itself or the images themselves. So I'm not gonna cut them off at this point just because it's not artist created, hand done type stuff. I much prefer that. I appreciate it so much, especially being an artist myself. So I don't know, like I said, but I'm not gonna shut the door on it completely. Mostly because I like the images on this. Now I will say that for the amount they cost, and most of them come from overseas, so you end up with an extra $25 worth of shipping or more sometimes. I think they could do a little bit better in their production quality. Now, I haven't looked at these ones. I've read some of the reviews, and that was probably the biggest complaint was things like no boxes, just wrapped in cellophane. The price wasn't, worth the production, basically. Because normally you spend $60 a deck, and you're going to get a nice box, at least. A nice box and a book. Whether it's a little white book or a decent-sized book, that's what you would get. And that's probably the lower level of the independent decks out there. Independent decks are starting to get closer to $100 for a decent production and guidebook, a good guidebook, a nice big one, nice big fat one. Anyways, let's go ahead and dig into this because I haven't looked at it. I've only taken the outer packaging off. So I have to say I'm impressed with the box that it came in. It was shipped in. And this did come from the UK, and this one's Hattie Thorn, and I'm pretty sure it's AI because they have so many decks listed, and I don't know. It just strikes me that this has got to be a mass production type operation. Anyways, and the other thing about it was that it's like they order small shipments at a time and send them out from there. And my timing on it was pretty good because she said that they were getting, or the person that I was in contact with were getting one of these decks in sooner than they expected so that they'd ship them at the same time. Turnaround time was actually pretty good. I don't know why this tablet just doesn't want to stay put. It keeps wanting to slip off. Anyways, so let's go ahead and open it up. So far, I like the way it looks. It looks pretty impressive to me. And maybe it's because of those complaints they did a better job. I don't know. So I got a nice little, it looks like a carnelian stone. I have an affinity for carnelian, so I am very happy to receive that. It's a nice little pocket size, something you could carry with you. It's kind of a heart stone to me. It makes me feel warm and cozy. Carnelian does. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Oh, little stickers. Oh, how cute. Little Christmas stickers. So this one must come because of the one deck I ordered was a Christmas. God, I can't even remember what it was called. Let's see here. It says, "Hi, Veronica. Thank you for your order. Your crystal is carnelian. Hope you love the cards, Hattie." So let's go ahead and look at that. And this is a Hattie Thorn card with all her information. I did purchase these through Etsy. I believe, was it Etsy? No, I ended up going directly to their website, but they are listed on Etsy also. I don't know. I tried placing the order the first time, and they came back and said they couldn't take the Amazon payment method, and so they resent the money back. And I don't know if it's because it was overseas type thing. And then I reordered again. Did I go through Etsy that time? Or did I go directly through the website? I can't remember what I did there. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at these. So I'm very impressed with the packaging. I mean, there is not only packing material in here, but there's lovely lavender flowers. Oh, I love the smell of that. That is just lovely. So they've done a good job here, I think. It does feel like they're in boxes. Look at how nice and neatly packaged that is. I'm impressed so far. Like I said, some of the reviews weren't great, but I'm definitely impressed at this rate. Washi tapes, so it's not a horrible stick, but tissue paper, it's still gonna rip. Yes, it's a basic flip box, flip top box. So this one is Shadows of Fate. I don't know, the imagery just looked right up my alley, and I just thought this is just gonna be stunning to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look here. It's a thick box, it's thick cardstock. I'm impressed. I am highly impressed with this. It's not high gloss, but it is slippery. I love the backs. Backs are not reversible, but I don't care. That is a stunning back. Absolutely stunning. And I'm hoping we don't glare too much. I've got natural sunlight coming in from the side, so hopefully that will not glare these out. Good clean edges. I think I'm impressed so far. Oh, the other thing is I picked these up when they were running, it must have been on Etsy because they were running a special discount when I ordered them. Let me just take a quick peek if it was my Etsy account that I bought these on Etsy. Like I said, I may have gone through Etsy the second time. Nope, it was not through Etsy. It was straight through their website. But anyways, they were running a holiday special, and that's when I decided to go ahead and get it, and it made it much more worthwhile. Plus, they combined the shipping for the 2 decks, so that made it much more worthwhile also. So anyways, so this is the full. It has the man and the dog. He's not walking away, but it's in contemplation almost, more so. It's a little bit more somber than your happy-go-lucky, freewheeling fool. But I'm okay with that. The Magician. Very wizard-esque. I like it. The High Priestess. This is a very somber deck. So Shadow Fates Tarot, I think, is the perfect name. I think it's... It would have been better if these were non-bordered and you had the larger image. That would be fabulous. But this is stunning. I am just so highly impressed. It kind of makes, it almost feels a lot like the Llewellyn Tarot in its art style. Now, the Llewellyn Tarot is all hand art, and it's beautiful. I believe it's watercolor or mixed media watercolor. Yeah, and that one was probably one of the most... I remember when that came out, when Llewellyn came out, I remember thinking that was the most beautiful deck I had seen in years and in decades. I mean, it was just stunning when it came out. And I remember when I ordered those for retail and I got all these little sample baggies, and oh my God, it was just phenomenal. I loved it. But this makes me feel like that. I mean, it has that quality of artwork, even if it is AI. The Hierophant. Ooh, that's kind of dark and creepy. The Lovers. I like the play of light and dark on that. She looks very illuminated even though she's behind him, which is interesting. The Chariot. I believe that is a skulled driver on there. I believe that's a skull face, which is interesting. And this one has a passenger, so that's a little different. Strength. I like that with a child versus an adult. Like I said, it's got a very somber feel. Gosh, I love that cardstock. And it's not linen, but it's a nice cardstock. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune, that is just beautiful. Like I said, this really reminds me of Llewellyn. Kind of Llewellyn, and now this one kind of reminds me of Waterhouse type work. So like I said, I'm not gonna go poo-poo AI stuff, because I think it has its own relevance and quality to it, I guess. As long as the person that is directing it, I think, appreciates what they're doing and puts thoughtful consideration into the process, I think you can come up with some beautiful stuff. Like I said, this one is the Hanged Man. I prefer my Hanged Man upside down because it changes the perspective. This is more sacrificial to me. It leans more towards the sacrifice. Death. Just, yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a standard death type figure. Temperance, you got the angel. I can't tell if she has something in her hands or if her hands are just, I think her hands are just crossed or tucked into each other in like almost in contemplation or blessing or almost the pre-pose too, opening up their hearts or their minds. So, you know, as I get the feeling of guidance and knowing your limitations. Like I said, Temperance has always been a knowing your limitations card for me, especially after getting the Marielle deck. The Devil. This is interesting because this is abdicating power. It is, but you almost get this feeling that this person is going there for comfort, which is interesting. It almost looks like he's doing the more thing, you know, or he's embracing the devil. So that's kind of throws a different light onto its meaning also. The tower, lightning struck tower, pretty basic there. The star, that's just beautiful. The moon. You still get the two towers and the two different colored dogs. The sun. The sun's a little creepy, but I'm okay with it. Judgment. The imagery is stunning. The only thing I could say is if this was borderless, we had a larger image, I would be much happier because there's a lot of detail in these images. A lot of detail. You know what else? This has a Rackham feel to it also. I'm wondering if those are some of the parameters that they put into the AI to achieve this deck was Waterhouse, Rackham, and Llewellyn or something like that. It makes me wonder because it definitely picks up those vibes. Oh. So that was Ace of Wands. I love her staff. That's beautiful. Two of Wands. It's missing the wands. That's a little disappointing. I think they should at least have, he should have the two staffs. Three of Wands only has one staff. But you've got that water, that flow, that visualization, that scenic output. Not so much the water part, but the outlook over the vast expanses. That's the thing. Okay, so I'm the pips are not as thrilling as I'd like them to be, but they're still beautiful. Four of Wands. You get the feel of it. You've got the trees, you've got the banners, you've got the house, the structure, yeah. It gives you that feeling. Here's another one that's like very Rackham-esque. Rackham-esque. Five of Wands. I almost feel like I've seen this in Arthur Rackham's work. So that's interesting. So I could see where some people might not like it because it feels like it's stealing from other artists. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're doing. If it was identical, I would say yes, you know, especially certain qualities, but I don't. It's a gray border. We'll put it that way. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. You get the feeling, the meaning of the card, but it doesn't necessarily have wands in it, which I find very, very interesting. Nine of Wands. I love that with the trees blocking the way. I like that. Oh, Ten of Wands, the burdens. I feel like the wands in particular so far definitely pull up the Rackham feel. Arthur Rackham. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Beautiful. I do feel like the King and Queens are very much like the Emperor and Empress. And so it's probably a good thing that they have titles here because that could create an issue if it didn't have titles on the cards. Ooh, that is beautiful. Ace of Cups. I like that. Two of Cups. Interesting. I love the egg-shaped opening. This figure is a little bit, I don't know, odd, strange. And this one almost feels like a child next to it or a young person. Comfort and guidance. Very witchy. 3 of Cups. I love that. 4 of Cups. Yep. 5 of Cups. That one feels more like an 8 of Cups to me. There's no indication as to number on there. So if the titles weren't here, you really wouldn't necessarily, they could lead to other interpretations, almost like an oracle. But you get the meaning. You get the feeling from it. 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Just out of curiosity, I want to go back to... Oh, I thought maybe it was the same image from a different angle or a different distance, but it's not. It's different. This one has a journey ahead, whereas the other one doesn't have that journey ahead necessarily. 9 of Cups. What you doing, Dolly? This dog we are fostering, she is such a little glutton. She wants into her penned-in area where I have a bag of cat food sitting. She thinks she can get in there and just go to town. And it's like, nope, you can't get in there. Anyways, I digress. 10 of Cups. That one almost feels like a reunion type. Page. Knight. Oh, that's beautiful. That one reminds me of the Llewellyn. Queen. That's beautiful. King. They definitely feel like emotional royalty. Interesting. Ace of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. I love these images. I'm going to enjoy this deck. I'm going to have to keep an eye on her website and see if they decide to, if Hattie Thorn decides to do this borderless, because I would love a borderless version of this deck. You know, with a larger image. 3 of Pentacles. I would have enjoyed this more if there was only 3, but 4 is fine. It's working together. 5 of Pentacles. Oops, hold it, wait. Is that a mix? No, 4 of Pentacles, sorry. Yeah, that feels a little bit more unhappy, whereas 4 of Pentacles to me is a little bit more balanced. 5 of Pentacles, this is the one that's the down and out one. 6 of Pentacles. That's beautiful. This is just, I think it's gorgeous. 7 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. This one has a little bit more watercolor feel to it. There are slight variances in the art style, but it's so minute. Everything flows together beautifully, so it's not distracting at all. Oh, this is beautiful. what was that deck that came out by Llewellyn, and it was absolutely stunning. And they were nice big images. I think they were borderless. But it was too Christian for me. It was very Christian influenced. Something light. That's going to make me crazy. King of Pentacles. Day and night, not day and night, light. Let me see if I can Google. Oops. Light, not flight. Light. Da, 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 da. Light spirit? What was it called? It's not coming up. Of course, when you want to really find something, it just, it just doesn't happen for you. I want to say Spirit of Light, but I don't think that's correct. And there's a lot of decks that have the word light in their title. So anyways, yeah, it was produced by Llewellyn. I remember getting that in, and I did sell it. To a client that was kind of on the border of deciding what kind of faith she wanted to follow, but she was also one of those faith seekers, always changing, and she wanted to know a lot about my beliefs, and I didn't encourage it because I could tell she was kind of wishy-washy and wasn't sure what she wanted. Anyways, let's move on. I'm digressing again. Two of Swords. Oh, that's interesting. She's blindfolded. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. She's blindfolded, but you feel like there's almost a tapping in to decision making, or to what to do. There's just a feeling of using your senses, but not necessarily your eyes, to get your way out, to figure things out, to get your way through it, the obstacles that you have. This is interesting. Three of Swords with the cracked stone. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. I'm not sure I care for that one. The head image on this is really, it's kind of odd to me. But it's not a deal breaker. Six of Swords is that journey. Seven of Swords. Grave Robber. I get Grave Robber from that one. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. I've always felt like these two cards are almost one and the same. No matter what deck it is, it just feels like you're kind of repeating yourself there. So, anxiety, feeling trapped, the nightmare, that type of thing. I feel like they can almost be combined. I suppose if you were whoever the client is, would probably determine which way it would lean more towards. Ten of Swords. That's interesting. Page of Swords. I like the little children as pages. I still tend to lean towards the court cards as being people. Not always, but a good portion of the time. It just comes across to me that this is somebody in the querent's life. Queen of Swords. Ooh, King of Swords. I like that. I like these. Anyways, so that is the Shadow of Fates. There is no little white book. So getting it on a lower cost special price make me feel much, much better about purchasing these decks, especially with the shipping costs from overseas. There is room in there for a little white book. So I'm surprised they didn't do one. Anyways, that is phenomenal. I am quite pleased with, I'm going to put this in here, with this deck. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's Hattie Thorn, Shadow of Fates. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one is the holiday one that I don't know what it's called. Vintage Christmas Tarot. There's a lot of Christmas tarots out there right now that have come out recently, and they're all beautiful, but being that I was ordering this other deck, I decided to throw it on this order and not go towards some of the other. Some of the other ones, I don't know, I felt like were repeats of other decks, but with a holiday flair. And so I just kind of, I don't know. And this one might kind of fall into that same category. But it's pretty. And the only other holiday deck I have is the Christmas Waite, which I think is beautiful, but I'm not a big Waite Smith fan. I don't know. It's just not one of my favorites. So anyways, so this one's interesting, looking at this, because this doesn't feel vintage to me. It's too modern to feel vintage, but it is vintage. It's probably, you know, she's wearing kind of maybe 1900 attire, or he is, for mountain climbing. What are you guys doing? Do I need to put you outside? What are you doing? You guys better be good. The dogs are always into something. I've got a 6-year-old epileptic glutton, and I've got a 9-month-old Havapoo that is just a puppy. Still just kind of gets on my nerves at times because he gets into things he's not supposed to. Anyways. All right, so let's take a look at this one. This one is the Vintage Christmas Tarot. The Magician. That's pretty. Again, we're getting that Waterhouse feel to some of these. Emperor. Hierophant. It's beautiful. I think this is a beautiful. Again, I wish it was borderless. That would be really nice. And it's not that I don't like borders. I like borders on certain decks, but when you get this detailed in the imagery, I want to see it more. So because it reduces it down quite a bit when you put a border on. The Lovers. She looks a little spooky there. She's got a funny look on her face. Strength. Very winter Christmas. This one's going to go out on my living room desk that has all my Christmas stuff out. And I think the winter Waite is going to go bye-bye, or at least get tucked away for this year. Oh, I love that justice. That's beautiful. Though I don't feel justice from the image. There's no scales, there's no blindfold, there's, you know, if it didn't say justice, you wouldn't know that was justice. Okay, this one we get a good hanged man upside down. Actually, you know what? I want to do this because otherwise, oh, look at those backs. Those backs are stunning. Sorry, I didn't show you the backs earlier. Those backs are absolutely stunning. Look at that. The holly berries are just gorgeous. I guess I screwed up. I could have just flipped it over. Oh. Hey, what are you doing? Stay out of the basement. Death, that's beautiful. Death on a white horse. Love it. Love it, love it. Temperance. The devil. I think they should put Krampus on this, but that's okay. What's he eating? Oh, he's eating the holly. That's interesting. Or he's tearing it up. I'm not sure. Anyways, the tower. The star. The moon. The sun. Judgment. The world. So justice is the only one that I'm not that thrilled with. I think she should have had some scales or at least been blindfolded. Anyways, that's okay. Ace of Wands. I feel star from that picture just because the star at the top is so prominent. Two of Wands, I like that. Three of Wands, you kind of get the same feel from Two of Wands and Three of Wands. Four of Wands, Five of Wands. One thing that it's not upsetting to me that some of these are not falling into place, because if you get a vintage tarot deck where the pictures were actually curated from vintage imagery, they never fall into place quite. So I'm okay with this. This is closer than some of the other decks out there that are done with vintage imagery. So I'm okay with it. You know, if they haven't been altered, which I'm kind of surprised with the if this is AI, why they didn't add those little elements to it. But that's okay. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. That's funny. Nine of Wands. 10 of Wands. I like that. Page. Knight. There's your cover image. Queen. Ace of Cups. That's pretty. Two of Cups. These are gorgeous. I'm pleased with it. It'll be perfect for Christmas. Definitely not something I would have out all the time. The imagery reminds me of Lenormand decks, because Lenormand is kind of, the majority of them all have that nostalgic feel to them. Eight of Cups. 9. 10. What are you guys doing? I'm going to make sure they don't steal anything off the Christmas tree and chew it up. Knight. Queen, that's pretty. King. That's of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. There's 4, 5, 7. Interesting. I think 7 of Pentacles is probably one of the most misread cards out there, because it's actually supposed to be a negative, kind of a negative, a bad harvest, and what are you going to do to fix that for the next year, or how are you going to deal with it? And so this one kind of leans towards that it's a good harvest feel. So like I said, I think it's one of the most misread cards out there and interpreted in production. 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. That's pretty. 10 of Pentacles, Norman Rockwell almost. Page of Coin. No, Pentacles, sorry. Knight, Queen, King, Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords, ooh, that's cool. That's a cool heart. 3 of Pentacles, look at that. Like I said, I hope the glare is, there isn't a glare on this. I think we're okay as long as I don't get into some direct sunlight. 4 of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, 4 of Swords. Bleh. We're in Swords. We're past Pentacles now. 6 of Swords. That's pretty. That's a pretty winter scene. Pentacles. I keep saying Pentacles, didn't I? 6 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Thief in the night type thing. A Grinch would have been good. 8 of Swords. 9 of Swords. 10 of Swords. He looks more passed out and drunk than lessons learned. Time to move forward. Page. I don't have a lot to say about this because it's pretty mundane for a deck. I feel like the Shadow of Fates Tarot has a lot more in-depth feeling. I think this is more just a holiday rendition of the Waite Smith type deck. But like I said, I do like the cardstock. It's very nice. They're good thick decks. I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and shuffle these guys and see what we get. It's a stiff shuffle for the first one, that's for sure. Hey, get out of there. Under the tree, digging their noses in there. A lot of times the cat's under the tree, and that's why they go there. But this was more of a curiosity thing. Go play with your toys. Go play with your toys. Looking over my shoulders. Oops, that wasn't a very good shuffle. These are pretty stiff. So they aren't that beautiful, sexy shuffle that you get from some decks. But these are pretty darn stiff. Hopefully they will loosen up. They aren't bending. There's no, I'm not getting any kind of immediate curve like you do from a lot of, especially Llewellyn decks. And Llewellyn's gotten better, but they still tend to get those bendies. Get the bends. Oops. Something's not matching up there. All right, come on. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. It's a better shuffle anyways. So, Ah! All right, my skills are not good this morning, especially with my elbows up on the table. It does okay for overhand shuffle. Better than some. That's one thing, matte finished cards are harder to shuffle that way. Six of Swords. Ace of Swords. Interesting. Six of Swords is that moving forward, being carried to safety, being traveling across from a bad situation to a better situation, or that type of thing. It's that movement forward. To Ace of Swords, which is new ideas, new inspiration, and we're coming away from Nine of Wands. Which Nine of Wands isn't, well, having a trek, having a hard time getting through. So we're moving out of a more intense situation, or almost a stagnant point, moving forward into new ideas and new inspirations. Got the Star card. Star cards is hopes and dreams and wishes. Oops. Now we got the Tower. So be careful. Things might not exactly be built on stable foundations. So just be aware of that. Anyways. All right. So that's interesting. That's a very, very interesting. I think the Tower card for me probably represents falling into the same pattern type things. I'm watching the cat box the dog. He wants to play with her, and she's like, leave me alone. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny to watch those two together. Anyways. All right. So that is the Vintage Christmas and the Shadows of Fate. This one's definitely my favorite. I love this one. I'm going to really looking forward to work with it. Like I said, this one's just going to go out for the holiday season and be out on my desk and be pulled through Christmas, maybe New Year's. Otherwise, it's definitely just a seasonal deck. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm okay with this Hattie Thorn. I think that she's put a lot of thought into them. If I compare the two together, I would say there's a little bit, it's definitely influenced by her interpretations of the meanings, and she kind of stuck to the same thing for each deck. Particularly, the first one that comes to mind is the Two of Swords, where she didn't have swords, she just had the person blindfolded. What do you have? Okay, I gotta check on the dogs. Okay, yeah, they had something they weren't supposed to. Chewing on some plant matter that they've stole out of one of my pots. Anyways, yeah, she stuck to the same type of imagery between both decks. So if anything, that might not be the greatest. And again, kings, queens, empresses, and emperor could be, if they didn't have titles. What else would I say? Some of the temperances and some of the judgments could have a little bit more reading influence into them, especially the Christmas one. because this one has so much emotion in it, it's still read well. So in general, I am happy with these. I would probably purchase from Hattie Thorn again because she has a huge variety of type of decks to choose from. If there's a specific genre you're looking for, she does they're there. She has a lot. I'm going to keep an eye on this one and see if she comes out with a borderless version. If she could come out with a borderless version with the titles either in the image or just at the bottom, I would be absolutely ecstatic. Anyways, thank you again, and I will see you on the tube. Bye-bye.